I'm super excited and grateful to be here at the Powerful Devs conference, and especially talking about my favorite Power Platform product, Power Pages. All right, today we're going to be looking at 5 ways to leverage Power Pages VS Code Copilot to increase productivity. So all my Power Pages developers in the chat area, say hello, say hi, let's see where you are. Cool. All right. Overview of the session today, we're going to be looking at Power Pages AI features, Power Pages Copilot and GitHub differences, and then we're going to look into a lot of code. We're going to be cutting lots of code today. Actually, Copilot will be doing the hard lift for us today. As of today, Power Pages is infused with AI. You can use AI to create a new website from scratch. You can create web pages on existing sites using AI features. You can revise content on your website using Copilot, so you can set the tone of the sentences on the site and adjust the content overall using Gen AI. You can create data-based components using Copilots as well. You can write basic forms, multiple step forms. You can create summaries based on your data collection using lists. And finally, you can generate code using AI for Power Pages. And this is the focus of our session today. All right, but before we dive into creating code and looking at how Copilot can help us, I want to quickly touch the subject of prompt engineering. You know, there are 3 basic rules that I use when I'm writing my prompts. First one is be specific. Create your prompts using enough details so that Copilot can provide answers that are detailed enough. Provide context. So when I write my code, my Power Pages code, I always tell Copilot who I am. You know, I am a Power Pages developer working on a particular feature set within VS Code, that is. And then finally, iterate. Remember the R's rule. And I learned this one from our friend April Dunham. So if she's live on this broadcast or on the chat area, say hello, April. Thank you so much for contributing here as well. Rephrase, reframe, and retry. Make sure you iterate through your prompts until you get the result that you want. All right, up next, let's talk about the difference between Power Pages Copilot and GitHub Copilot. Microsoft makes Power Pages Copilot available within the VS Code.dev IDE or experience. So when you go to Power Pages, you click to edit code, you get a pop-up on your browser, and you see a Copilot there. That is your Power Pages Copilot. It gives you a lot of power. It helps you do a lot of things, but compared to GitHub Copilot, it's a whole different story. GitHub Copilot is a lot broader than Power Pages Copilot, but you could include Power Pages Copilot into your GitHub Copilot experience, and we are going to look into that shortly here. Finally, before we dive into code, everything that I'm going to show to you today is based on VS Code for desktop. You can download VS Code for desktop and then install the Power Platform tools into your environment, and you'll be able to download the contents of your site using the Power Platform CLI, okay? All right, 5 ways to harness the power of Copilot to increase productivity within your Power Pages development. Let's dive right into it. The first way that we are going to have Copilot help us is assistance writing fetch XML queries. If you worked with Power Pages in the past, you'll know that you can retrieve data from your Dataverse model using fetch XML queries. The second one is we are going to ask Copilot to help us make our UX a little bit better, make it prettier. And then the third way that we can use Copilot in this experience is to compose JavaScript automation. Fourth way is going to be looking at web API calls. And then finally, and this is my favorite, gaining insight on existing code, all right? let's go into the demo. I'm doing this live, so I'm hoping things will work as planned, all right? Okay. So what you see here on my screen is the official website of the Powerful Devs conference. And if I scroll down, you'll notice that this site was built in Power Pages. How cool is that? That's amazing. What I wanted to do is I wanted to extend this page, or this site rather, with additional features, maybe to enable the users to rate a session, to provide feedback on what they thought on each session, all right? But I don't have access to the Powerful Devs website source code, so what I have done is I recreated the site on my own tenant. It looks very close to reality here. It's not pixel perfect, so don't judge me there, but it will do the job for today. And on top of that, what I have done is I created a blank page for the agenda web page, and this is the one that we are going to enhance today with the help of Copilot. All right, who's ready? Who's ready for this? Let's go, let's go, let's get it done. All right, so the first demo is accessing, asking Copilot rather to get some data for us that currently resides in Dataverse. So before I start, I mentioned that Power Pages Copilot can be added as a participant into your GitHub Copilot chat experience. So this is how you do it. When you want Power Pages to participate in that particular interaction, you add the Power Pages tag here, and it will be part of that chat experience. Now, not every region in the world has access to this particular participant, as we are still in preview. So I am giving you another way to get it done. It's not as perfect as having Power Pages as a participant, but we can still get it done. So this is what my prompt looks like. I'm telling Copilot, GitHub Copilot, that is, who I am, what I'm doing today, and then I'm feeding some knowledge into the Copilot. I'm telling it to use some of the Learn articles to provide a little bit more context to what I need to do. So that's what I will do. And as a Canadian, if I was polite enough, I should say yes, please, and thank you. And I forgot that, so I'll do that next time. So Copilot is ready for me. I will now ask it to do a simple thing. Let's just add some plain HTML to my page. I want to add a Bootstrap container. I'm going to add a header with some information. Let's see how Copilot performs. So that is now part of my page. It's looking good. I'm going to move on to the next prompt. So the next prompt, I'm telling Copilot what I need to do. So my task on this particular example is to build a list of sessions that are available for my conference. And I'm giving context as to what my data model looks like on this particular request. Then next, I tell Copilot what to use in terms of commands. And finally, I ask it to display it nicely on my page. So I will copy this prompt, throw that into the GitHub Copilot window. And remember, this is live, so we are hoping for the best. All right, we can see that Copilot's doing quite a bit of work here for us. So now I will click to add it to my page. You see it, the code is now applied in my page. I will accept the changes. You see it's doing the work for me. It query the variable nicely to display the end results. The only thing I would change here is that this speaker attribute in my data model is a lookup field. So I'm going to tag on the name of the speaker to this result set. And I can then push the changes up, and we'll see the results on the other side. Okay, go back to Design Studio, invalidate my cache. Let's go to the agenda page here shortly, and we will see our result. All right, nice. It's displaying the data as I wanted. So let's advance here on the demo. So demo 1 was done. Let's go to demo 2. Demo 2 is I need to format this page a little better. Right now, it's just showing a lot of data. It's not easy to digest the information. So we'll take a peek at the agenda page, the official agenda page, and see how we can replicate that. All right, so we'll go back to my prompt, and I'm gonna tell Copilot, look, organize the display of this session using Bootstrap, again, adding context and being very detailed as to what I want Copilot to do. I will copy the content here, add it to GitHub Copilot, and we'll see what it's doing. If you have joined us from early in the morning, you remember that Leon was presenting a component, building a component using Copilot, a PCF component, and I'm now using GitHub Copilot to do to implement changes in Power Pages. So the tool is really powerful. It's not restricted to Power Pages only, and you can use it for various programming languages. So we are going to push this up. Now that Copilot has implemented my changes, you can see that the HTML looks different now. Let's go refresh the cache once again. Wait a minute and refresh my page. And if all is well, this page should look like the one on the website. How cool is that? That's amazing. All right, let's go. Let's make this even better, okay? Now, I don't like the way that dates and times are presented here, so I'm gonna ask Copilot to help me. You know, I'm not only losing hair, I'm losing memory, so I don't know what this command looks like. And so I'm gonna ask Copilot to help me out on this particular example. So I'm telling Copilot, look, Power Pages Liquid, using Power Pages Liquid filters adjust the session date using this particular format. So let's throw that into the GitHub Copilot chat window and see what it can do for us. It's processing. Let's be patient with Copilot. It's working hard today and under pressure. All right, I think my changes are done. I can go ahead and apply. I'll choose to accept those changes, save, upload, and then again, once again, refresh the cache and see the end results. Okay, cache is being refreshed. Let's take a look and see the end result. And if all is well, the date and time is now nicely formatted. All right, so this is the second way that Copilot can help you by assisting you in writing better or prettier UX through the change of your HTML content. All right, the next demo is JavaScript. Now I want Copilot to reach out again to Dataverse, retrieve information from the contact table, and present it on the screen. The goal is to show the bio for each speaker. I want to learn more about, you know, who Leon is or Scott Duro and whatnot. So I'm going to ask Copilot to get it done for us, all right? So I'm giving specific instructions here. Revise the fetch is one, and then change the speaker name into a link, so on and so forth. So that's what we are going to throw that into the GitHub Copilot chat window. So let's wait for the code to be generated. It's, again, working really hard here and under pressure for us. So it's tough work. Let's be kind and patient with Copilot today. All right, still processing. Okay, I think we are done. Let's click to apply this code change. Almost there. All right, that was a lot of code. So we will save, accept, upload that change, refresh the cache once again, and we should have our results available here in 1 second. Page is loaded. I can click, and you can now see Leon's bio on the website. Amazing. All right, the next demo is based on Web API. So what we want to do is we want to empower users of this website to submit their ratings on each specific session that was presented or is being presented today. Okay, so I do have a Web API prompt ready to go. Now you'll notice that this prompt is a lot longer than the other ones. Reason being is because when I requested Copilot to get this work done for me, and I only mentioned that I needed it to wire a Web API call, it created a very generic Web API script for me, Web API call script for me. So I'm giving more details as what I expected to do. The field names of the table that I'm going to use, the type of AJAX wrapper that I want to use in this call, as well as how I want to consume or the results, how I wanted to push the values into the Web API call, and even how I can convert some of these values that are being collected to be pushed to Dataverse, all right? So that's why there is a little bit more content here, but this is a product of the R's rule, again, refine your prompts until they are perfect for you. So let's throw that into the chat, submit it, and let's wait for it to process and collect the results for us. Now, as it's working through it, you notice that in my prompts, I added technical information. That is because I understand how Power Pages work. So as you interact with Power Pages, I would strongly advise you to learn to study the Learn documentation. It offers a lot of insights in these specifics. To study the content on Bootstrap as well if you want to make your presentations better, your site presentation better, that is. All right, let's apply these changes. We are now over 50%. It's getting there, it's getting there. All right. All right, hanging on 99%. We are almost done with this particular sample. Once that is finished, we'll apply, then submit the changes and test it out live, okay? So we'll accept these changes, save the file, upload, and then the page is going to be available for us. Now, what I need to do is sync once again, and then our page should be ready for us here in no time. So let's take a look. I now have a page that looks a lot like the official website. I have the information there. I have the bio for my speaker. I have an option to evaluate a session, so I'll click here, select what I think the rating is for this particular session, submit, and it might take a little while now because we just refreshed the cache, but you can see my evaluation was submitted successfully. All right, so Web API, check mark. We are going to the last example here in my demo. So I prepare a page in advance called dashboard, and this page has a visual representation of the ratings that were collected. This is the average rating per session. And suppose that my mission is to enhance this page. Someone at work delegated this task to me, and I need to look at this code and kind of decipher and understand what it does, okay? So that is the one last feature, or the last way that I believe Copilot can help you with your Power Pages code, is explaining what a piece of code is doing. So I will open the content of this page. As you can see, there is a bunch of JavaScript written in this page, and you know that not everybody is as a good developer as Scott Duro, with good examples, good code, good comments. So sometimes you need features like this to get things done. So in this example, what I will do is I have a very simple prompt that I will feed my Copilot. And in this prompt, what I wanted to explain what it does, and I wanted to explain how I am connecting, retrieving data, and aggregating the data before I get started with my task. So as you can see, Copilot is going through the contents of this script. It's telling me that I'm making a script inclusion using a CDN link. It's going through the HTML and explaining how my chart will be presented on the page. It does show how the data is being fetched, the data is being aggregated and presented back to the end user. How amazing is that? This is amazing. This is really, really cool. There is a lot more that we could show, but we are limited in time. So I believe, yes, we reached the end. So that's all I wanted to show today on this presentation. If this presentation has helped you, the content has helped you, please take it, make your own, share it with your friends. You know, we rise when we lift others, and I'm a strongly believer that we get better when we do that. So thank you so much.